Hello guys. Today in ServiceNow Pro Solutions, we will see what update sets are and how they are used in ServiceNow. We will also see a small explanation of how we can create, update, and delete an update set, and how to create a button to add any record to the update set we are in. This here will be the index that we will follow throughout the video. First of all, we will give an explanation of what update sets are. After this, we will see how to create them and also how we can group several under the same parent update set. Then, we will see how to create a button that appears in all the records in our instance that allows us to add that record to the update set in which we are. And finally, we will see how to delete an update set, how to export it, and how to import it to our instance. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with the most basic. What is an update set? The definition is the following. An update set in ServiceNow is a logical grouping of records that represent a series of changes or updates made within a ServiceNow instance. These changes can include new configuration items, modifications to forms, workflows, scripts, and other system elements. In ServiceNow, administrators and developers make changes in an instance, and these changes are stored within an update set. The update set serves as a container for grouping related changes together. It can then be transported to other instances to apply the same changes in different environments, such as development, testing, and production. The update set by default will always have the name default, and if we do not select any other, it will be where all the changes we make are saved. In essence, an update set is a crucial tool for managing and transporting configurations and developments between instances, providing a structured way to control and migrate changes across the development lifecycle in ServiceNow. The next point we will see will be how to create an update set. From this point, we will begin to make practical examples to understand it much better. So let's go to our instance. Here we have it. To access the update set list, we can do it in two different ways. On the one hand, we can search in the search menu for local update set, and a menu will appear from which we can access the list. On the other hand, we can go to the world-shaped icon that we have at the top right. By clicking that icon, we can see the application we are working on, as well as the update set. If we click on the update set, we can see all the ones that are created in our instance, so we can change the update set we are working with directly from here. And with the icons above, we can open the list of update sets or the update set record in concrete with which we are working. In our case, we will press the list option. By pressing it, we will directly enter the update set list of our instance, where we can see all those update sets that are created there. And to create a new update set, we will only have to press the new button. Pressing it will take us directly to the update set creation form. In this form, it will be enough to fill in the name field. In the case of this personal instance, I have created the update set type field, to be able to group the update sets by type, something that can be useful if you have a large quantity. We will see the usefulness of the parent field in the next section of the video, and in this case we will also fill in the description field. And after this, we will have two options. On the one hand, we can press the Submit and Make Current button. With this button we will save the record and it will become the update set in which we will be saving the changes from now on. On the other hand, we can press the Submit button, with which the record will be saved, but we will continue working on with the update set that we have been working on until now. In our case, it will be the update set default. We will use the latter. And when we press it, we can see that it already appears in the list of update sets. Now we will see how we can group several update sets in such a way that when we have to export and import it, We will only have to do it for the parent update set. And we will not have to do it one by one. Normally this is very useful so that when several developers are working on the same update package, each one can work with their own update set. But then everything can be moved between instances at the same time. For the practical example, we will create a second update set. To do this, we will go to the update set list and press the new button. Once in the form, we will fill in the name field and the description field and press the submit button. And now, we will move on to the part of creating the parent update set. To do this, we will press the new button. In the name field, it is advisable to put a descriptive name so that we can easily identify which update is where the rest will be grouped. In our case, we can put the word parent at the end of the name. And we will proceed to save the record. Once we have it created, we will open the update sets, which will be within this parent update set. And in each of them we will fill the parent field with the update set that we just created. We will save both records, and if we go to our parent update set, we will see that in the child update set tab, both of them already appear. Once we have the associated records, we can verify that when we complete our parent update set, we get an informative message telling us that when we complete the parent update set, the child update sets will be automatically completed. And indeed, if we press the Yes button and go to the other update sets, we will verify that they have been completed automatically. Let's move on to the next section. In this part of the video we are going to explain how we can create a basic button, which allows us to add any record from our table to the update set we are working with. This can be very useful in the event that we want to pass records that by default are not automatically added to the update sets, such as, for example, an incident or any other data that corresponds to data in the database. And it can also be useful to add records that have been added to another update set by mistake, or that are in default. So let's start. The first thing we will do is create an update set to save all the changes related to this button, and in this way we can pass it to all the instances we want. To do this, as we have seen so far, we will go to the update sets table and press the new button. In the form, we will fill in the name field with the name Add to Update Set button. And in this case we will press the Submit and Make Current button. In this way, our changes will begin to be saved in this update set. We can check it if we go to the world-shaped icon in the upper right and press Update Set. We can see that the one we just created is marked. And through the button above we can access the registry. The next step will be to create the UI action. To do this, in the search menu, we will search for UI action and we will access the menu found in the System Definition section. We will press the new button. And we will begin to configure our UI action. The first field will be the name. In our case we will call it Add this record to US. We will also have to fill in the action name. And for the example we are going to create a form link. Although it can be any other type of form UI action. We will also have to fill in the condition field to determine which users can use this button. In our case, we are going to set it so that only users with the admin role can do so. In the table field, we must select Global. This way the button will be displayed in all the forms of our instance. Once this is done we can save the UI action. If we go, for example, to the incident table and enter any record, we can see that the button already appears. Just like, for example, If we enter the request items table, in the update set we check that we already have our UI action saved. So we can start programming the script to do what we need. The first step that our script must do will be to save the registry we are in so that the last changes made are also saved. To do this we will simply write current point update. The second step will be to add the record to the update set. To do this, we must invoke the glide object called glide update manager 2 and we will save it in the variable udp_manager. To be sure that we have found the previous glide object, we will check that our variable is not empty with the function gs.nil. And if it is, we should call glide object through the root package.com.glide.update.updateManager2. And now, all that remains is to call the save record function, passing it our record. Finally, to make it much more user-friendly, in step 3, we will show a message with a link that will take us directly to the update set record. To do this, we will take the update set we are in, with the gs.getPreference function, passing the string sys_update_set as a parameter. We will make a glide record to access the record from the script and we will create an HTML object that is a link to this update set, showing us its name as a hyperlink. Finally, with the function gs.addInfoMessage, we will show the message we want on the screen. 1 point. We can execute these server-side functions such as the glide system functions, with its abbreviation GS, since we are specifically executing this UI action to be executed on the server side. If you want to know where each type of script is executed in ServiceNow, I recommend that you watch our 2 previous videos where we explain it. Finally, in the case of this UI action we will save the changes. Once saved, we can, for example, go to the request item that we had opened before and if we press the button and return to our update set, we can see that the record is now saved there. Let's do another example. If we go to a change request and press the button, we see that it also shows us the message and if we enter the update set, we see that it has also been saved. One last test that we can do, for example, would be to create a business rule in default update set. To do this, we go to the business rule table and create it. And now if we select our update set, and press the business rule button, we can see that it also works correctly and has added the business rule to the update set. We will now see the last 2 points. We will see these 2 points together in such a way that first we will see how to export an update set. We will delete it from the instance and we will also delete the button and at the end we will import it again so we can see that the button appears again. So let's start. Firstly, as we have mentioned, we are going to go to the update set. Once we are in it, the first thing we will do is remove the changes from the examples that we had saved in the previous section. In this way, we have a clean update set that we can move from one instance to another just with the button we want. In order to export an update to XML, what we will need is to set the status to completed and save it. And once we do this, we can see that the Export to XML Update button appears in the related links of the registry. And when we press it, the XML is downloaded. This will be the way to export an update set. Easy, right? For the moment, let's leave the file in downloads and move on to the part about how to delete an update set. As we can see in the upper right part, the typical delete button that appears in most ServiceNow records does not appear. But we still have a way to do it. To do this, what we will do is create a background script with the code that I show you below. In this script we will make a glide record to the update sets table, and we will take the record that we want to delete. We will add the set workflow attribute and we will pass the value false. And finally we will call the delete record function. We press the Run Script button and we can see that it already appears on the right that the record has been deleted. And if we go to the update set table and reload, we can see that it is no longer found in the instance. And finally, we will move on to the part of how to import an update set. The first thing we will have to do is look for in the search menu retrieved update set. Once in the list, we will right-click on any of the field names and press the Import XML option. In the import form we will have to press the button, Select File, and the File Explorer will be open, and here we can select the file we want to import. Once selected, we will press the Upload button and it will appear in the retrieved update set list. Before committing it, we are going to delete the UI action that we had created to check that it is recreated correctly. So we will go to the UI Actions table. Look for the one we want and proceed to delete it. And now we will return to the update set that we just imported. We will press the Preview Update Set button. Once we see that everything is fine, we will only have to press the Commit Update Set button and the changes will be committed to our instance. To check this, we will return to the UI Action table. And indeed we can see that our button is back in the table. And with this we end our video. Thank you very much for having seen it. And if you liked it and it was useful to you, please leave your like and share. For any suggestions, do not hesitate to leave your comment in the comment box. And see you in the next video at ServiceNow Pro Solutions.